Hi, today we are interviewing Leanne Cairns from Leanne Cairns Millinery, and I'm so excited because she does such lovely, lovely work. So we're going to chat to her, and you're going to hear all about her and her hats. So it's lovely to speak to you.
Hi, thank you very much for asking me to do this.
Oh, no, it's a
Nice to
pleasure.
meet you as well.
Um, I'd love to know how you got started. Tell me how you got started in millinery.
So probably about 7 years ago, I started. I did a fascinator for my sister's friend, and then just word of mouth kind of went about, and I was just doing it as a hobby. I was painting, I was sewing, I was just doing things because I had to stop work. Because my partner had lost his sight. So, obviously, me being who I am, I couldn't really just sit about. So I just started doing that and it just evolved. I took myself off to college, probably about it's probably more like 5 years ago, to do a millinery course at Glasgow Clyde College. And I've never really looked back. So,
Oh, that's fabulous.
yeah.
So do you normally work from home? Do you normally work from a studio? Tell us about where you work from.
So I have a studio in Ayrshire and in Donald, and it is, well, it's not a shop, so it's a studio just by appointment only. And yeah, I usually work from there, but due to COVID and the lockdown, I haven't been able to get into my studio since March.
I
So
know
just
it's so frustrating for everybody, isn't it? I can't invite people to my studio, so hence we're all online.
yeah, absolutely. So I've really just moved all my hats back here. I've been working from home where I can, but as I say, I'm in a small bedroom, which is, and you kind of revert back to when you were just starting out
Starting out, yeah,
as a
yeah,
hobby again. So and
yeah.
it was, it's just,
Oh.
but I've been working on the business as well. So just
So yes, because I hear you're doing a new website and there's lots
Yes,
happening.
and this week I have been up to my eyes in website stuff, so I think I've finally got it. There's a few wee glitches, so it should be live and kicking by the time this goes on.
This video goes up.
Yeah,
Hooray!
yeah. So
Well,
yeah,
don't worry, we will be promoting your video and your Instagram and your Facebook, etc. Once this video goes out to our lovely, lovely followers who are hat mad. Is there a favourite medium you like to work in? Because I know you're very, very creative and you've made some hats out of some fantastic things. So,
yeah,
is
yeah.
there
Well,
a favourite or do you just go
during
with it?
lockdown, I decided to make a hat, the copper one that you showed on the Instagram. So copper top hat. So this is it here, and so I made this hat. Hope you can see it all.
Yeah, we can see it really well.
I made it from PVA glue, polystyrene beanbag filling balls, and some holly wreath frames that I had around the house. And I obviously got some copper spray just to spray it all. So yeah, I had this mad idea about using things. It's not really mad nowadays because everybody's recycling and upcycling and being sustainable. So I had the idea of I'm going to just put this over here.
Doesn't want to
Um,
stay there. Yeah.
yeah, so I had the idea of creating something out of what was around the house. So that was what I came up with. And I had joined Catherine Elizabeth's Millinery Academy, and there was a kind of a course on futuristic hats. So that was the inspiration for it all. So I joined that because I was back at home. I wasn't getting any orders. And I wanted to join the millinery community and be kind of proactive with other milliners that were coming up, like up and coming, that
Mm,
were just
mm.
starting out, just to share my knowledge as well. But yeah, I was really happy with the outcome of that, and I put a visor onto it as well because of the times we were in. So
Yeah, we're all
yeah,
masked up.
just
And it was featured in Hat Talk, wasn't it?
Hat Talk EMAG, yes. They featured
Yeah.
me in the September issue as Hat of the Month. So,
Oh, well done.
if anybody's in the subscription for Hat Talk, you can go back
Yeah,
to
you can buy
the one.
various versions of,
Yeah,
various,
so you have a read on there, and it just tells you what it's made of, and
how you
the
made it.
process.
I love the fact that you're very, like you say, proactive with the millinery community, and you're willing to share ideas and expertise, because I think in this day and age, we're not passing on enough of our craft. Also done some amazing things with felt.
Yes, I've got some felt hats that I love it. I actually, when you asked about the medium that I
Yeah,
like, I do like making felt hats. I like the traditional kind of 20s to 40s vintage look
yeah,
type thing. So if I'm ever making a hat for myself, I do like working with felt because it's really malleable and you can freeform it. So you don't necessarily need a block. Well, you need something to put over it, but you don't need to have an expensive block to make like a cloche hat. You just need maybe like a crown block,
yeah, yeah.
just to get the shape so that it sits on the head, right?
So you've
So
made lots of different hats just with a crown block.
yes, and even cinema hats. I used to use the crown block to get the shape. So um, like asymmetrical fascinators just to
Mm,
get the shape so that it sits on the band, and
mm,
just freeform. I started freeforming with cinema and just I used all sorts of things like bubble wrap to like hold it up so that I could, tilt a top up or
mm.
form the bottom. And I just used things that were round about me, attached them underneath the crown block. So I think if for anybody starting out, as long as you have a crown block or a button block or something, you can
You can make a
experiment
hat.
with materials and the
Yeah,
likes of cinema. When you dampen it and you can use a hair dryer to dry it quicker, so you could hold it and then form it. So it's that I just experimented until I looked at hats and I thought, well, how am I going to do that? I don't actually have a physical block for that. So it's just about being creative, isn't it? It's just like
yes, yeah. And that's what
using
I love
things you've
about this
got around you.
community. It's being creative. It's having an idea and thinking, how am I going to make it?
Yeah.
Do show us your felt behind you, your winged ivory or your
Oh,
cloche. Yeah, your cloche. Show us your cloche. Your cloche is fabulous.
well, this is just a felt hat again that I made out of a cape line, just one cape line,
Yeah.
and then I just cut it up and I used obviously the brim part to make this structure at the back,
Mm.
and then I made this part out of the other half of it. So it was really just about cutting it in half, and then
Cutting and shaping. Yeah.
I sewed
I
all
love it.
these sequins on, and then used the trimmings just to make different shapes. So that was inspired by Metropolis, the film Metropolis, which I love.
I love that. I've got that on DVD.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
was just trying to kind of make something that was quite wintry, because I did it round
Mm.
about Christmas. So that was when I was just playing about with, things that I had again. I had a cape line that I'd had for, I think I've had it for about over a year, and I hadn't done anything with it. So I thought, right, I'm going to use it.
Oh,
This is one that I made quite a while ago, and that was for Parkins Fabric. Had a competition maybe about 2 years ago,
yeah.
and yeah, just they gave you the materials, and you were to make something out of it. So
Yeah.
that's what I came up with.
I
So
love that. Go on, put it on. Put it on.
it's to be.
Oh, you see, you so suit a cloche because you've got the right shape fade. You look very 20s.
Yeah, I do love felt hats. They're
Yeah.
fantastic. I've got
Yeah.
some more there as well. I've got the one that I did for London Hat Week as well. So this is, again, it's very vintagey.
Yeah, yeah. That is lovely. Was that free-formed?
Sorry?
Was that free-formed
It
on
was free-formed, yeah. So I free-formed it onto
just a crown block? Yeah.
onto a crown block, and then I folded it. So I folded it round and then under and up, and then just got the lip round about there as well. So it's a wee bit different. It was a wee bit. I was trying to get a different shape, you know.
Yeah, but it's gorgeous. Put it on, yeah.
It's quite a small hat, but it's
Yeah.
quite.
I do think
the idea for that was so that you could wear it dressed up, be glam, with your fur coat on and your sparkly beaded dress. So,
going out to the Ritz for tea.
Yeah, like Peaky Blinders type.
Yeah, yeah. Do tell me about the plastic hat.
Yes.
That is so fabulous.
So this, again, when I was I made the copper hat after this, but yeah. So I made this Plastic Fantastic, it's called. It's really just about gathering and draping the material. But I basically made all the material is made out of blue kind of cappuccino and copper pencil cases that I got for 50p each.
Wow.
And I just made the fabric like a kind of check.
Yeah.
And then on the backing, I used the underlay non-slip stuff for rugs.
I know.
So it's just like a kind of a foamy, plasticky stuff.
Yeah.
So just to give it a bit of rigidity.
Sprayed
all that copper. But when I made this fabric, it was just a big sheet of squares. And so I put the PVA glue all over it, just basically Jackson Pollocked with the PVA glue, and then just sprinkled the polystyrene balls on it, and then let that dry onto this. And then when I peeled it off, I had to sit for hours peeling it all off of this fabric. Once because I'd sprayed it with copper, it left this with a wee bit of copper on it as well. So, and then these quills, kind of modern quills, are made out of just copper wire with synthetic hair extensions.
Oh, you see, you've really got an eye for just using.
Yeah, sorry.
Whatever you can find.
It was just these.
I know.
You can get them off of eBay.
Yeah.
And then I just wrapped that all the way around it, and then I put some copper leaf on that just to give it a bit of sparkle. So yeah. So it was really just about using things, and there's just a small cinnamon base under there just to give it.
Just to give it, just to hold it on the head, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and a bit of elastic. So I mean, it's just trying to think outside the box and hopefully give people like the idea that you can just make hats out of nothing, really.
And you can look fabulous in something. I mean, you probably won't tell a customer it's made of pencil cases. I don't know. I
don't see why not.
No. Having said that, I sort of retract that really because
it depends on the customer. I mean, it's really the whole idea is being more sustainable with materials, because our industry is not known for being entirely ethical with the material.
No. If you go back 100 years, they were plucking feathers out of exotic birds, weren't they, and killing exotic birds to provide the feather trade. But I think you're probably like me now, very much like, where are my feathers coming from, and where is this coming from? And I think we're all changing tack now.
Even like using glue-based stiffeners and things like that, I think it's probably wise for us all to think in a recyclable nature and
Yeah.
try and be more sustainable with what we can do.
Yeah.
And even when you sell a hat to somebody, you want to be able to sell them that as an investment, that you can,
Yeah.
if something goes wrong with it, you can bring it back to you, or you can change it again and give it some new
I was going to ask you that. Are you happy, like, say, a mother of the bride has had you design a hat for them? Are you happy to say to them, look, if you want to bring it back and the trimming is changed or a different colour on the brim or something like that?
Yeah,
Because
it's
I
part of
find
that.
that very helpful.
Yeah, it's part of an after service. I think you have
Yeah.
to give people, like if you, especially if you're going to charge a lot of money for your hats, or what your customer thinks is a lot of money.
Mm,
I think you've got to give them the value of that, and
that's right.
and that means giving them good service afterwards as
Yeah.
well.
Because,
Another service that I do offer is remodeling of older hats as well.
right.
So if somebody's somebody that's a hat lover's got loads of hats that are in their cupboard and they're just gathering dust,
Yeah.
I would offer to say, well, I can have a look at your collection and we could see what we could do with what you've got. So that
Yeah.
might be just changing the trimmings like what you said, or it might be taking the material and making something completely new out of it.
Oh, I see. I love all that recycling. What are you hoping for over the next year? You're getting your website up and running, and like a lot of us, we're hoping, fingers crossed, that weddings are back on the cards and
Yeah.
whatever. But do you sell worldwide? Because that's the big
Not currently, I
no.
don't. I'm offering on my shop to send worldwide shipping to people.
Right.
So, if the e-commerce side of things takes off, it just depends whether people want to buy hats that are, they can't try on. So it's really just testing it to see
Mm,
what
mm,
happens.
mm, mm.
I've got plenty of contact buttons on my website for people to message me if they're unsure about things before purchasing. So I
Yeah.
think
So you're
that's,
more than happy to chat to people,
yes,
before they make a purchase or if they want any advice, which I
yeah, I've
think is
got
always important because you don't get that when you go to a big company. You couldn't, I mean, Debenhams has gone now, but you couldn't message them and go, will this hat suit me or will it go with my
yeah.
outfit? Whereas,
I suppose it's just like having a good return policy if they're not
yeah,
happy, and
yeah.
then obviously I've got a booking system on the website so that people can book in for a time to have a Zoom call with me. So I
Oh,
can do a quick 15-minute chat for free, or I can do a 45-minute paid consultation, which would lead on to doing a design for them.
that's a fantastic idea. What a clever idea.
Yeah, it's just that you just click the button, it takes you through to a
Yeah,
scheduling thing,
yeah.
and then that just comes into my email box and onto my calendar.
Wow,
So it's really,
wow.
that's I have had a few customers do that with me, and even
Yeah,
just for the 15-minute chat, if they're not sure, whether I'm the right person for them, it gives you the opportunity to meet them
right.
as
Yeah,
best as you can in this given situation.
yeah.
It's not the same as meeting people face to face, though.
No, but it's the nearest we can get, isn't it?
It
It is
is.
the nearest we can get.
Yeah.
It's been lovely talking to you. I've really, really enjoyed it. You have some fabulous hats, and obviously during this and at the end, we're going to showcase your hats and put up your website and all your details. And I would highly recommend you to anybody who's looking for a hat because I know your hats and they're fabulous.
Well,
Thank you so
that's really
much.
nice of you. Thank you. Thank you for
I
saying.
hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes, I have, and I hope that your followers that are maybe just setting out in a journey in hats are inspired to
Give it a go.
give it a go. Yeah, absolutely.